The needle shook in Dr. Maya's hand as she stared at the massive creature before her. This wasn't in any medical textbook she'd ever read. The dragon's chest barely moved, its glowing blue veins growing dimmer by the second. "You realize this is treason," Colonel Black said for the 12th time. Section 4.9 clearly states no unauthorized treatment of alien life forms. Maya ignored him. The dragon was dying, and she was a doctor, that's all that mattered. But what she didn't know was that this single decision would bring 12 million alien warships to Earth's doorstep within 24 hours. The dragon had crashed 3 days earlier, destroying 3 satellites and nearly flattening half the research facility. While everyone else wanted to dissect it, Maya saw something different in those amber eyes. Intelligence, pain, a desperate plea for help. "This creature destroyed our defenses," the colonel continued. "The protocol is to study its remains, not heal it." "How's that working out for the last 11 specimens in your freezers?" Maya shot back, positioning the adrenaline injection at what she hoped was the right spot. The dragon's eyes suddenly snapped open. For one terrifying moment, Maya found herself staring into that alien gaze. Then she saw it. Recognition. This thing knew she was trying to help. With one swift motion, she plunged the needle into the dragon's hide. Everything happened at once. The creature convulsed, sending Maya flying backward. Its mouth opened, revealing razor-sharp teeth. Security raised their weapons, ready to fire. But instead of attacking, the dragon made the strangest sound, part roar, part electronic screech. The blue implants along its body blazed with light. And then, the impossible happened. The dragon simply vanished, gone, like it was never there. The silence lasted exactly 8 seconds before Colonel Black turned to Maya, his face red with rage. "Dr. Thornfield, you are relieved of duty. Pack your things. Your career is over." But Maya's story was just beginning. 3 hours later, she sat on a transport shuttle, officially unemployed and disgraced. Her single bag of belongings felt heavier than the weight of her ruined career. "Excuse me," said the man beside her. "Aren't you the doctor who got fired for treating the dragon?" Maya's blood went cold. "That's classified information," the man laughed. "Nothing stays classified when 27 people witness it. Besides, I process termination records. Yours was creative. Excessive interspecies empathy. That's a first." Before Maya could respond, chaos erupted on the shuttle. Passengers pressed against the windows, voices rising in panic. "What's happening?" Maya asked, pushing through the crowd. "Ships!" someone screamed. Seemed to absorb light itself. They moved with impossible grace, defying every law of physics she knew. There weren't hundreds of them. There were thousands, maybe millions. "Oh no," Maya whispered. It called for backup. The shuttle's communication system crackled to life. "Emergency broadcast to all passengers. The visitors are demanding to speak with someone called the Healer of Scales." "Does that mean anything to anyone?" 23 pairs of eyes turned toward Maya. "Well," she said quietly, "I guess that answers whether it was intelligent." The shuttle immediately changed course, heading back to the research facility. Through the windows, Maya could see they were now dwarfed by massive alien ships hovering overhead. Her heart pounded with a mix of vindication and terror. She'd been right about the dragon's intelligence, but now she was probably being delivered to face the consequences of humanity's less than friendly welcome. As they landed, Colonel Black was waiting with security, sweating profusely. The confident military man from hours earlier was gone. "Dr. Thornfield," he said, and Maya noticed his voice shook slightly. "Your presence is requested at a diplomatic meeting." "Interesting," Maya replied, not moving. Didn't you explicitly forbid me from setting foot here again under penalty of creative military justice? I have it in writing. The colonel's jaw worked soundlessly. The situation has evolved. Like when a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, or more like when a minor incident becomes a potential interstellar war. Doctor, please, he said, and the fact that he'd resorted to begging told Maya everything about how serious this was. They're asking for you specifically. They won't talk to anyone else. Dr. Patel appeared behind the colonel. There are 12 million ships in orbit right now, Dr. Thornfield. 12 million, each one carrying weapons we can barely comprehend. Could you postpone your entirely justified satisfaction until after we avoid planetary annihilation? 12 million. The number hit Maya like a physical blow. Fine, she stood up, smoothing her wrinkled uniform. But I want it noted that I told you so. The walk to the landing field was surreal. The sky was dark with alien hulls, casting everything in artificial twilight. In the center sat a ship with glowing blue markings, the same patterns she'd seen on the Dragon's implants. As they approached, part of the ship's hull simply dissolved, revealing an opening. Standing there was a figure that made Maya's breath catch. It was humanoid, but wrong in subtle ways. 7 feet tall, wearing armor that seemed to absorb light. Its helmet was featureless, showing nothing underneath. The figure stepped forward, and every human except Maya instinctively backed away. She remained rooted in place, scientific curiosity overriding fear. The being raised its hands to its helmet. There was a soft hiss, and it separated, revealing a face that was almost human. Almost. The bone structure was sharper, the eyes larger, and an impossible shade of amber with vertical pupils. The skin had a faint pattern that reminded Maya of scales. Dr. Maya Thornfield, the being said, its voice musical, yet resonating in her chest. The healer of scales. I am Commander Thaxon of the Draconis Imperium. Maya realized it was using some kind of advanced translator. You saved the life of High Prince Vexen, Thaxon continued. For this, you have the eternal gratitude of our people. High Prince. Maya glanced at Colonel Black, whose face had gone gray. I'm glad I could help, she managed. Is the prince recovering? Thanks to your intervention, yes. The chemical compound you administered neutralized the radiation poisoning he suffered during atmospheric entry. Without it, he would have perished. Radiation poisoning. Suddenly, everything made sense. The symptoms, the labored breathing, the discoloration around the implants. She'd gotten incredibly lucky with that adrenaline shot. The High Prince has shared with us the memory of his time here, Thaxon said, and there was a new edge to his voice, including the debate over whether to heal him or dissect him. Behind Maya, someone made a sound like a stepped-on mouse. Not everyone agreed with that approach, Maya said carefully. Obviously, Thaxon replied, with what might have been amusement, which is why you are speaking with me now, while those who advocated dissection are contemplating the 12 million warships surrounding their planet. Put like that, it rather clarified the situation. The High Prince would speak with you, if you are willing. Maya hesitated only briefly. I would be honored. She followed Thaxon into the ship, aware of the stunned silence behind her. The interior was as sleek as the exterior, illuminated by blue light. They walked through corridors that seemed to bend in impossible ways, past rooms filled with technology that made human devices look like stone tools. Finally, they entered a vast chamber dominated by a pool of liquid metal. Rising from that pool, majestic and terrifying, was the dragon. High Prince Vexen was even more impressive, conscious and upright. His obsidian scales gleamed, blue implants pulsing with vitality. His wings stretched nearly the width of the chamber, and those amber eyes fixed on Maya with unmistakable recognition. Dr. Thornfield, said a voice in her mind, and Maya gasped. It wasn't telepathy exactly, but concepts and emotions her brain interpreted as language. You show remarkable courage, entering the heart of a foreign power with no assurance of safety. I figured if you were going to eat me, you'd have done it. Dragon was laughing. Directness. How refreshing. Your leaders quake in fear, yet you speak plainly. I begin to understand why fate guided my damaged vessel to your world. About that, Maya said, was your arrival an accident, or were you searching for Earth? Neither, came the reply with amusement. I was on a diplomatic mission when my ship encountered an anomaly. Your planet was simply the nearest habitable world. Habitable is generous, Maya muttered. We're still working on that. Another rumble of laughter. Indeed, your species is young, promising but young. Yet individuals like you give me hope. You risked everything to save a being you didn't understand, with no expectation of reward. Such actions are rare, even among civilizations far older than yours. Maya felt embarrassed. I'm a doctor. It's what we do. No, Vexen said, suddenly serious. It is what you do, Dr. Thornfield. I accessed your facility's records while recovering. Many of your kind would have acted as your colonel wished, studied my corpse rather than healing my wounds. The Imperium has encountered such attitudes before, with unfortunate results. The implication sent a chill down Maya's spine. The Draconis Imperium spans 37 galaxies, Dr. Thornfield. We have encountered thousands of emerging species. Some become allies, others do not. I must determine which path your Earth will follow. And you're asking me? Maya said, incredulously. I'm just a doctor who got fired. I don't speak for Earth. But you represent its potential, Vexen replied. Your actions revealed a capacity for empathy, for recognition of sentience beyond your own form. That is rarer and more valuable than technology or resources. Maya thought for a long moment. The weight of responsibility was staggering. Humanity is complicated, she finally said. We're capable of tremendous cruelty, but also extraordinary kindness. We can be short-sighted and destructive, but we can also be compassionate and committed to growth. I can't promise every human would have made the choice I did, but I can promise many would have, and given time, more would learn. Vexen's great head nodded slowly. A fair assessment, more honest than most. The Imperium will establish formal diplomatic relations with Earth, limited at first. Cultural and scientific exchange only. No military technology until your species demonstrates greater wisdom. Relief flooded through Maya. And you, Dr. Thornfield, will serve as Earth's first ambassador to the Imperium. Maya blinked. What? No, I'm not a diplomat. I'm a doctor, currently unemployed. Your employment status has been remedied, Vexen said, with what could have been a smirk. Your Colonel Black was most agreeable to creating a new position for you with considerable benefit. Values healers above all others, Vexen explained. In our culture, those who preserve life are considered most suitable for diplomatic roles. Who better to represent your species than one who embodied its highest potential at our first meeting? Put that way, it was hard to argue. Besides, the massive head lowered until it was level with Maya's, those amber eyes peering directly into hers. I trust you. And trust, Dr. Thornfield, is the foundation of all successful diplomacy. Maya took a deep breath. Her life had taken a dramatic turn in 6 hours, from military doctor to disgraced outcast to interstellar ambassador. It was, she had to admit, significantly more interesting than treating training injuries. All right, she said. I accept, but I have conditions. Name them, Vexen said, sounding amused. First, those 12 million ships are making everyone nervous, Perhaps we could reduce the visible fleet to something less apocalyptic? Reasonable, Vexen conceded. Though I should mention, there are actually 12,439,622 vessels currently in your system. The Imperium believes in thorough demonstrations. Even more reason to dial it back, Maya said firmly. Second, I want a full medical exchange. Your people clearly have advanced biological technology, and we have much to learn from each other. Granted, the Imperium has particular interest in human medical practices. Your innovative approach to my treatment suggests unique insights despite your technological limitations. Maya chose to take that as a compliment. And finally, she said, I want Colonel Black assigned as my administrative assistant. Vexen's rumbling laugh filled the chamber. As Maya followed the High Prince deeper into the ship, she reflected that her mother always said kindness was never wasted. She doubted even her optimistic parent had imagined kindness leading to an ambassadorship to a draconic empire spanning 37 galaxies. Life, Maya decided, had a peculiar sense of humor. 3 months later, Maya stood on the observation deck of the Imperial flagship, watching Earth rotate below. The blue-green planet seemed both more fragile and more precious from this perspective. Beautiful, isn't it? Said Colonel Black, approaching with digital tablets. It is, Maya agreed. Hard to believe how close we came to disaster. Black cleared his throat awkwardly. About that, I've been meaning to say you were right. I was wrong. If you hadn't treated the High Prince, we'd be having a very different conversation. Or no conversation at all. Maya finished. The latest diplomatic packets require your signature, he said. The UN is still pushing for access to Imperium weapon technology. Maya sighed. Same answer as before, medical technology, yes. Environmental restoration, absolutely. Cultural exchange, enthusiastically. Weapons that could vaporize continents, not until we demonstrate greater maturity. Any word from the medical exchange team? Black's expression brightened. Dr. Patel reports significant progress adapting Imperium regenerative techniques for human physiology. Early trials show a 78% success rate. 78%, Maya repeated softly. That's thousands of lives saved, all because you couldn't follow protocol. Speaking of protocol violations, Maya said, how's our special project? Black glanced around. The terraforming proposal for Mars is ahead of schedule. The Imperium engineers say the atmosphere could be breathable within 20 years, not the 50 we projected. And Earth's governments still don't know. As instructed, all communications classified as medical research initiatives. He hesitated. They're going to be upset when they find out we've been terraforming Mars without consulting them. Probably, Maya agreed cheerfully. But it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission, especially when you're presenting them with a second habitable planet. Black shook his head but smiled. You've changed, Doctor. We've all changed, she replied, turning back to the viewport. That's what happens when your perspective shifts. 3 months ago, I was worried about my pension. Now, I'm helping reshape the solar system and advance human medicine by centuries. She gestured toward Earth. Look at it, Black. So small, so vulnerable, so divided. And yet, with the right guidance, you sound like you're planning something. Maya smiled. Not planning, healing. It's what I've always done, just on a slightly larger scale now. Outside the viewport, Earth continued its slow rotation, unaware of the conversation that might determine its future. And beyond, invisible from this distance, but present nonetheless, 12,439,622 black ships maintained their vigilant watch, ready to follow the direction of their High Prince and his human ambassador. In the grand scheme of the universe, Maya reflected, it had been a rather fortunate mistake that brought Vexen crashing into Earth's atmosphere. A fortunate mistake, and a moment of compassion, the butterfly's wings that changed the course of history. She placed her hand against the viewport, reaching toward the distant blue planet. "We have so much to learn," she murmured. "And now, finally, we have the time to learn it." Behind her, unnoticed, Commander Thaxon observed the human ambassador with thoughtful eyes. The experiment was proceeding exactly as predicted. The accident of the successful subject to a position of influence, all according to ancient protocols for assessing emerging species. In 923 previous applications, only 62 species had passed the test. Of those, only 27 had flourished under Imperium guidance. Would humanity be the 28th? Watching Dr. Maya Thornfield, the unexpected variable, the healer who defied her own kind to save a being she didn't understand, Thaxon felt something rarely experienced in his long service: hope. Sometimes, the commander reflected, the universe's greatest gifts came disguised as mistakes. A damaged ship, a crashed prince, a doctor with the courage to do what was right rather than what was ordered. And sometimes, those gifts changed everything.